Sounds
16
good.
personality types are. Then there are...
So I can hear it and see what,
Okay.
if I need it louder
What
or not.
personality type is Michael Jeffrey Jordan? If you aren't aware of what these
It sounds
16
good.
personality types are, then there are way too many videos dogmatically, but it is very useful. The best way to type someone is to figure out which cognitive functions they use at his peak and scrutiny. So what
Enjoy is a hobby. If I had a problem, I'd be starving. I'd be hawking this watch. My championship rings, I would sell my house. I would do this. My wife would left me, or she'd be starving, or my kids would be starving. I do not have a problem. I enjoy gambling, but I think that people are trying to make it seem like I have a problem because they don't really know. And when you have an area that you don't really know about, you're going to have people, you know, taking it further or speculating even further until I come out and basically give my own opinion about it.
Okay. As you can see, he's wearing sunglasses in a situation that one might describe as inside, which aside from being totally hilarious, already might say a few things about his potential personality type.
That's
the purpose
wild.
of this interview
Whoa!
is to reassure people.
Whoa!
It don't say anything about his personality type.
That doesn't say anything about him. That's crazy. That's freaking wild. Wearing sunglasses
on the inside.
is on the inside. Like, no, that doesn't say anything about his personality. Like, that's crazy work right there. Oh my gosh. I guess every blind person is also a certain type because they wear sunglasses inside too.
Yeah, exactly. And not even really speaking on the dialogue too much, right?
Yeah.
That's like the first thing that kind of popped up in his head, but okay.
Yeah, like the dialogue should be more important than what he's wearing. What he's wearing is irrelevant.
To look squeaky clean if possible and prevent any reputational damage. Yet wearing glasses makes him look so suspicious and sketchy. You can't even hear what he's saying. You're just thinking, why is he wearing sunglasses? And by the way, he's not like Jack Nicholson, who's always wearing sunglasses. You just can't help but think, what's up with his eyes? Why does he want to cover them? To me, this immediately points to him not being good at extroverted feeling. This function or trait is all about being aware of what other people are thinking and feeling.
What?
Being able to sense...
What? What? That's crazy. What? Extroverted feeling? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's wild.
None of that says extroverted feeling at all.
No, it doesn't. Like, what's funny enough is that he's making so many assumptions based off of his own bias that he's not even recognizing, that he's not even typing him by what he's doing or what he's saying. He's typing him based on his own biases and judgments. He's projecting shit onto him, and it's not even, like, accurate at all. That's crazy. Okay, sorry, continue.
How people are reacting to you or might react to you. Managing perceptions well, and just in general, having a strong awareness of how you're coming across to others. People who are really terrible with this trait often come across as socially weird and awkward until they develop it. He definitely isn't that bad, but there are plenty of situations where he's comically out of touch with how he's coming across, or just doesn't care. Let me jump back to the start of this clip and let's listen to how he goes about defending himself.
For the public, do you have a gambling problem?
No, I enjoy it. It's a hobby. If I had a problem, I'd be starving. I'd be hawking this watch. My championship rings, I would sell my house. I would do this. My wife would left me, or she'd be starving, or my kids would be starving. I do not have a problem.
So what does he do? He doesn't give an emotional appeal and say something like, I'm not that kind of person, I don't believe in gambling, or I wasn't raised that way. He says, if I was a gambling addict, then this would happen. He's giving very detached, logical reasons. It's like if someone accused you of a crime. If you didn't, I don't believe in gambling, or I wasn't raised that way. He says, if I was a gambling addict, then this would happen. He's giving very detached, logical reasons. It's like if someone accused you of a crime. If you didn't react in an emotional way, or give emotional appeals, and just said very logical, detached answers, it might come across as weird. That's kind of what he's doing here.
Well, I
What?
do agree
Yeah, no,
that
like
is logical
it is
and
logical. He is a
detached.
thinking Dom. He is detached, and that is true. That is right. I think he's right on picking that up. But like to say that that makes people think he's weird is that's weird. Because
Right.
like just because like this is his normal baseline. It's his baseline, right? Is being logical. If he were to become overly emotional about things, then that would be abnormal behavior. And in like, you know, people trying to figure out if somebody's lying or something, like detectives or whatever, let's say if somebody did commit a crime, they would be looking for abnormal behavior, things that are not baseline, things that come up that are not baseline. And
Mm-hmm.
this is baseline, so it's not weird
Very base.
for him to behave this way or to even have this thought of being logically like, no, like if I had a problem, obviously then my life would be in shambles. But it's not. Like my family's fed, my wife is taken care of, everything's fine. I have leftover
Right.
money, I can just spend it how I want, and I enjoy gambling. So it's like, yeah, I don't think he's being weird at all. I think it makes sense.
Right. Like the whole thing, the misconception of people not knowing the difference between an introvert and an extrovert. This is very clear here that he hasn't went inside yet. He's very clear in his articulation. He's stating the facts,
Mm-hmm.
which is, oh, because this, and that. So he is using logic, but he's also explaining it just based on what it is. So, I mean, so far as like, if you're just analyzing what this video was saying, you're going to lean more towards extroversion over introversion.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about Michael Jordan, just how he is with his team or like how he communicates, just the type of person that he is, he's extremely dynamic as far as like his attitude in and of itself is almost polarizing to people. It's out there, you know.
I don't know
It's
because I haven't watched anything of his except for what you sent me and this. Like that's it.
oh really?
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. I just know that he's played baseball.
It's rich. I wouldn't have my watch or my championship rings. So
Okay,
he's
it's
trying to
working now.
counter the logic of the argument. You see this trend over and over with him of prioritizing the logical, introverted thinking, rationale, and justification over the more empathetic, extroverted feeling approach.
Oh my
When
gosh.
he's explained
How is he getting introverted thinking from that?
There's nothing about his introverted thinking.
No, I don't see TI at all. I see TE. He is detached logic. That's true. He's not wrong about that, and he is picking up on that. But how is he, like, how is he addressing, or not addressing, but how is he categorizing TI versus TE? Like, I don't see that.
Yeah, it's not like I'm pretty. Yeah, he's utilizing MBTI, so it's like
Oh,
mainly based on descriptions versus kind of like definitions and stuff like that. But
freaking hate
I,
MBTI.
either way, it's like
MBTI
nothing
sucks.
about that screams TI like
No,
at all. But
no. It
anyhow,
is high thinking for
himself,
sure,
he talks
high rational thinking,
oh
but
yeah.
not TI.
So one thing, he's very reductionistic, that's for sure, over kind of like expansive. So he's not like, he doesn't really have the energetic of like a seeker destroyer in IDT. So he's not really like loose. He's more just like very somewhat rigid, you know, but also
Yeah.
very practical, and he focuses on
He's very
efficiency.
down to earth too, very SE in there, like going back and forth between TE and SE.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, like if he was a TI Dom, one of the misconceptions is that the FE, sometimes you can hear it based on the mannerisms. Like you know, it comes out that there is they're trying to utilize their FE to a degree. When you actually see a TI Dom, although they don't focus on it and they wind up doing other things like ideation or building.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get that with Jordan at all. He just seems like when he doesn't care, he really doesn't care.
Yeah.
And you know,
Exactly.
it's hard to miss, really.
Yeah, I don't see any like FE
about
going on. Oh, give me 1 second.
No.
1 second. Josh is here.
decisions, why they make sense first, and then maybe later he'll go on to explain how in turn that helps other people or benefits them. So in terms of personality type, and obviously this is just one clip, but I picked ones that are illustrative, he's showing that he's prioritizing the function or trait of introverted thinking, being logical, over extroverted feeling of being more empathetic and aware of people's perceptions. Here are some clips about how he is.
All right, so really quickly, just that point right there, right? When he says introverted thinking over extroverted feeling, I already think that that's like a faulty breakdown, because you shouldn't actually be trying to separate TI from FE.
Yeah, I agree. It should
Instead,
not
you should be trying to separate TI from TE
Yeah.
or FI from FE,
Yeah.
so that you can
Exactly.
find the axes, right?
Yeah, because if you have TI, you're gonna have FE, and you shouldn't be trying to differentiate them like too much to the point that like one's non-existent or something like that. That's not how it works. They're both.
Not
If
at
it's
all.
on an axis, it's gonna exist together. Depending on where it is, it's gonna, affect the way that it works in the psyche. But for the most part, you're gonna see them. You're going to see it happen. So if he's like, there's no FE, he's right. There is no FE, but there's FI.
Right, exactly.
And
He's
there's
contradicting
TE.
himself, not even realizing it.
Yeah, exactly.
In an interpersonal sense.
Yeah, let's not get it wrong. He was an asshole. He was a jerk. He crossed the line numerous times. But as time goes on and you think back about what he was actually trying to accomplish, you're like, yeah, he was a hell of a teammate.
If Jordan's rage to prove himself inspired his teammates, it could also burn them.
I've seen Michael come in a lot of times and, knock over all the Gatorade cups and go off and say, if y'all ain't gonna play, stay in the locker room.
Phil Jackson was never the coach of that team. Michael Jordan was the coach. Jordan was the one who yelled at them. Jordan was the one they feared. Jordan
What?
was the standard they had to live up to.
Can you pause it?
Michael
Can you
is
pause
just, he's
it?
killing Bill Cartwright all the time.
Yeah.
Can you pause it? How is that TI? He's literally
None of
being
that
a
is
chief,
TI.
a freaking a protocol chief.
How was that introversion? What
Oh
about
my
that is
God.
introversion?
None of it. He's over there freaking directing people, and they're like, there's no coach, he's the coach. Like, he's the one who's telling people what to do. He's a freaking, he's a protocol chief. He's not TI. That's crazy. And
No.
they're like, oh, at first you don't know what his like ideas are or whatever, but then like as it goes on, you think back, you're like, oh, I can see where he was trying to go. That's NI simulation. He's like, okay, this is how we're gonna make this happen, and like he has a vision of
Right.
where he's gonna go with that. Oh my goodness.
And that's his default setting as well.
Yeah.
There's like players who's on his team who is literally scared of him.
Yeah.
And would praise his work ethic and would always say that he would demote them for having poor work ethic. It was just crazy how he was,
Yeah, and that's like, that inferior FI. He's really being like, oh, this is the way, like, how do I explain that? Like, his FI's coming through, but it's like, being like, this is what it needs to happen. Like, this is what needs to happen in order to get to our championship or whatever we're doing, and that's not FE.
Yeah.
That's not FE at all. Like,
Nothing about that is FE.
insecurity
It's all
is
about
not
efficiency.
FE. Yeah, it's all efficiency, all about getting everybody to work together, and he's gonna make you work together somehow. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, he's gonna let you know that you're fucking up.
And a misconception I really don't think people understand what expression actually mean, like FE expression.
Yeah. Everybody
But
keeps making the mistake of saying that a feeling rational judgment, like the feeling judgment, is linked to emotions. That's not necessarily true, because you can always have emotions for different things, but the rational part about it being, it's a judgment, right? So it's not about how you necessarily feel about something, but it's a rational way of approaching situations, right? So like, you have extroverted feeling and introverted feeling. These are two judgment functions, and same as thinking is a judgment function. So whenever people are like, oh, that person's just emotional, that doesn't mean that it's because they have a high feeling or a low feeling or whatever they think it means. like if somebody's being emotionally volatile, it's usually because they have like problems, and it's not because of a judgment function.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, there's been stories where he would play 16 holes of golf, go out drinking and smoking, and then go straight to an NBA game afterwards
Oh my gosh.
and drop 40 points. It's like this guy is
That's
like,
crazy.
he doesn't stop. He does not stop. Like, he's in his element. Like you know, that's it. That's his energy. He gets energy from the external world, and you
Yeah.
can tell that he's like, that's just how he maneuvers, you know, and he bumps against people, you know, especially if they're in his way of achieving his goal. And
Yeah.
if you're on his team, you have to listen to his order, to his command. He's like a commander,
Yeah, exactly.
you know. That's not TI. That's very much TE.
Yeah, and it's very much external logic, you know, because it's not like just because he's, you know, like the main difference between like the extroverted logic and the introverted logic is like he's not making things like, how do I say it? Like he's when he's like talking about his thought process, it's very
Right.
external, as in like
Yes.
these are
How things work.
how things work. Yeah, exactly. How things work, instead of it being like how I think it should work and
Right.
like how I would change
Conceptually.
things. Yeah. It's not as conceptual. It's very much like, this is how this thing works. This is how these things work together, and this is how I'm going to use that knowledge to make this happen, to make a certain thing happen.
Yeah.
And he's also
Right.
a businessman.
Also,
Like, not that all TE DOMs are businessmen, but like he talked about that in like one of the videos you sent me. Like he was, you know, he's like talking about his business and stuff, and he's like how he handles it. It's very TE DOM.
you know, and like you said, not to equate them to business particularly, but let's face it, that because they're out in the external world, they know how things work. They're very practical. They have a good sense of the external environment. This is naturally going to give them some type of command or understanding of how business works if they wanted to, if they wanted to look into it. Not saying all of them does, but they're in the world, in the realm of that, to where they can actually make it work for them. And he's been doing this even when he was playing. He had stuff going on. It's like, it's very easy for him to do, and he's very professional on top of that too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Based on what I know about him, this isn't something that he does all the time. It tends to be compartmentalized to when he's playing basketball. When he has a job to do, when competence is needed from his teammates, he's more than happy to prioritize winning and excellence over other people's feelings. In the system, the odds of him being a feeling type are just extremely low for that reason alone. It's not impossible, but it's highly unlikely.
He constructed reasons.
Yeah, he's not a feeler type.
Play hard that night. These little slights were deep indignations to him. That's all he needs. I mean, that's like throwing meat to a tiger.
So there's all those memes about Michael Jordan taking it personally. He's a very paradoxical kind of character, because he's a very strong, forceful, aggressive character, yet can be strangely thin-skinned in many ways. It's easy to offend and, for want of a better phrase, trigger him. I'm not sure whether this is indicative of any particular type or trait necessarily,
that inferior
but
FI.
one thing I have noticed is that types who have their feeling function as their lowest function tend to be quite predisposed to feeling disrespected. They read
That is true as well. Feelings, when it's low, it can shoot off or it can erupt or explode in that way when it's combative, especially.
Yeah.
And you can tell what his combative is. It's not FE.
No, it's not.
Because, you know, it's definitely FI. He's like kind of caving in. You can tell he's like he's hurt, but he doesn't want to say anything.
He's
like sometimes it's written.
He's festering.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like festering. Yeah. He's like emotional damage. Like.
Yeah. He's very like. It's funny because like he's very like very not soft, but he's very vulnerable when it comes to like when things are not going his way. It's very like the FI is is offended. The FI is taking it personally, even though, and you can see that it's very much like a baby. Like, it doesn't understand the nuance. You know, it's just like, this was wrong to me. You wronged me, and so I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
So it's personal. It's very personal. FE as a, you know, from what I've noticed with you, when it comes to, like, whenever you get kind of triggered with your FE, it's not that it's personal, it's just that you're taking it as in, like, they're trying to put a, like, control on you, or like a social contract or something that you're like, no, I'm not gonna have that. Or like, if like, it's not that it's personal to you, but it's more of like, you're just like, I'm not gonna have you like disrespect me, but in a like in a very public way kind of thing. Like, you're very much about, like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, to be honest. Like, it's very different from being festering.
And it becomes like an, you know, like articulation even could be an issue. You know, because you want to ideate when you're a TI dom, or you want to build internally. So it's going to, you know, but that's not Jordan. He doesn't go in when he goes in, you could tell he's going into an emotional place, like what he looks like now in this picture.
Yeah, that's like, that's frustration and festering of emotion right
frustration,
there.
right? Yeah, that's like he's hurt. For a FE user of any sort, will look at this and be like, he's hurt. You know, because we notice it, right? Because he just looks like he's in his feelings.
I mean,
now.
He's not very good at hiding it. He is in his feelings, for sure. The thing is that he's not good at hiding when he's upset, you know? The way I can, like, kind of explain it, the difference is, like, the FI is, like, it's like an infant, you know? There's no actual, like the nuance of FI is not there. It's very much like,
no,
it's
not
very
at all. He doesn't want to process
it's black or
with
white. You know, it's black or white. It's not very
much result oriented.
Yeah, and so, like, Tammy's like, oh, you did me wrong, I'm gonna fuck with you, you know, and, like, he'll go into that whatever. He'll go into a cyclone.
And if you compare it to FI DOMs, they're way more in depth with it. They do want to process their feelings, and they could process their feelings to the point to where they're not like this. You know, a lot of times they just
like
not.
That.
No, they're not festering like that. They decide to cut you off. It's easy.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you, all right, no problem. But, like, for him, like, he's kind of also in a position where he can't just cut people off because he's working with them and they're part of his
he's
team.
working with them,
so he has to work with them. Instead of being like, fuck it, I'm leaving, you know, like, he's not gonna do that.
He feels obligated to the external realm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, is making him like this. It's kind of like, well, if you guys don't want to work with me, you know.
Yeah. It does sound like a lot of, like, also on top of it just being like FI is on the as the anchor, it's also he's lacking, like, serious emotional maturity. That could be why it's coming off like an infant. Like, he's coming off as like a child who's not able to discern emotionally what, like emotionally what is going on. Well, not even emotionally, but like the judgment of right or wrong. Like, okay, this person told me no, right? But I don't feel like they're respecting me because they told me no, and I'm going to pout and be upset about them not doing what I want because, like, I should get what I want, which is very, you know, childish, because children are very needy in that sense. So, like, it's a very childish way of being emotionally.
But what he resonates with is how he resonates with things is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To him.
Yeah, it's like everything is for the standard that he has in his head. Everything is for the standard in his head. I would consider him to be a very especially at this time, because it looks like he's in his younger years here, in this interview or something. I would consider him to be like in Cyclone here, or like
Oh yeah,
he's very much
100%.
NATO.
He's
Like
being
he's
passive
NATO.
and deflective. Yeah.
Yeah, very passive and deflective for sure. And but like one of the videos you shared with me, I think he grew quite a bit, and there was more growth there.
Right.
And
This is one.
yeah, like when he's older, you can see more
When you return,
FI coming up.
and so Luke was the first Australian in the NBA. What did you think of his Australianness?
Laid back. I never seen Luke mad, to be honest. And his personality is that he, every day, good day, mate. You feel that warmth coming from him, and and that's good. It's good to have that mentality, and you feel like you're very fortunate each and every day, and you wake up, you enjoy your life, you live it by the moment. But there's times when you have to push yourself a little bit, and you want to see that frustration, you want to see a little bit of anger, and Luke did at times.
He's
you
definitely
have to do a
an
little
8.
pushing to get that, but his mentality is that he just enjoys being around people. He is that gentle giant. He's always been big. Wherever he was growing up and been around, so it's quite naturally he always wants to feel welcome and wanted to connect with someone. Maybe a smaller person or anybody. That's a great trait to have. Also, that trait has to be adjusted, especially when you're in competition. Because you want that dominance to be shown. You want that intimidation to be shown in competition. It's not a negative thing. It's always a positive thing in terms of how you utilize it. But it took a while for him to get to that.
He's extremely detached.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one.
Yeah.
He's not intuitive. He's not like an any dom, right?
No, not at all.
And so he's not a seeker destroyer. He's not loose when it comes down to being imaginative, or his form of ideation is from a building stance.
Yeah, definitely.
So what that means is that everything is being defined based on not just what works, but also what is. And it's very much in the moment. You can tell, like, these experiences that you want to build towards this in order to get a certain result. When you're trying to win and be competitive, you have to flip that and do more of this and do more of that. He's almost coaching as he's speaking to whoever's listening.
Yeah.
It's not about the collective, but he's also seems very natural and open to doing it, and he doesn't look nervous. He's not stumbling over his words. He's not thinking about it. He's not pausing, waiting. Like, these are introverted qualities, especially when it's processing in a moment and being questioned. He's kind of like just ready and responsive and just going with the flow kind of thing.
Yeah.
What you thinking?
I agree. Like, he's like so very much detached. It's funny though to see him talk about Luke and how it puts a smile on his face though. Like, these are like little things where he's getting like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what type Luke is either though, but definitely that warmth that he's talking about is either FE or FI that's coming through. And he's like very much affected by it. And at first he's like, well, it's great that he has this, but he doesn't but he needs to learn how to get angry and all this stuff and get to this point of being somewhat serious or something like that. But Luke is he'll get angry sometimes, but I think it's like he's not to the point where Michael feels like he should be in anger or something like that, and I think that speaks more towards maybe their Enneagram types, but that's definitely more like an Enneagram type thing. But he's very detached on, he's very matter of fact about what he saw, what the strengths were, what the weaknesses were. Even though the weaknesses were there, they weren't that bad. He even made that comment pretty much he needed to work on this, but he wasn't like, it wasn't like that bad of a weakness that it was like such a problem. Hey, honey.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, you look amazing. Sorry, he has his Halloween costume on. Hi, honey. Oh my gosh, you look like a peasant.
He started early, huh?
He's a medieval peasant. Oh, that's nice.